In most countries around the world, survivors of human trafficking have to testify against their abusers in court, often in the exact same room. Most survivors are living with PTSD, so the process of reliving the worst things that have ever happened to them in the same room as their abuser can be immensely re-traumatizing. And as a result, a lot of survivors choose not to pursue the prosecution process. This means that it can be really hard to actually convict traffickers because a lot of the time, the court system doesn't have the very specific evidence that they need to prove that trafficking happened. This is exactly why the Exodus Road exists. We are able to provide actionable evidence so that the burden of proof doesn't depend solely on survivors, and this spares them from being as re-traumatized in the process. Wherever possible, we also provide social workers who go with survivors to their court appearances and provide emotional support both during the court appearance and then after, working through any triggers that might have come up. Unfortunately, it can take years for traffickers to actually be convicted. Once they are convicted, they're often sentenced to jail time and also required to pay a fine to trafficking survivors. But based on the traffickers' resources, they might not actually ever pay that fine to survivors. We desperately need to reform the legal system to better protect survivors. In the meantime, at the Exodus Road, we're going to keep showing up however we can to fill the gaps. In our next video, find out how we are empowering survivors' healing journeys.